There's a guy I know, 34 years old, makes $180,000 a year as a software engineer in Austin, drives a used Honda, lives in a one-bedroom. His net worth is $47,000. There's another guy, 52, runs a dry cleaning shop in Queens, never made more than $62,000 in his life. Immigrated here in 1998 with 3 suitcases and a cousin's phone number. His net worth is $2.3 million. Now, before you tell me the shopkeeper got lucky with real estate or the engineer has student loans, stop, because that's not the story. The story is that one of these men figured out something the other one is still chasing, and it has almost nothing to do with money. I'm going to tell you what it is. But first, I need you to sit with a question that's been quietly eating at me for the last 2 years. Why do most people who understand compounding still end up broke? You've heard the line 1,000 times. Einstein called it the 8th wonder of the world. Invest early, let it ride, become a millionaire. Every finance guru on this platform has drawn you the same hockey stick chart. And yet, the average American retires with $88,000 in savings. Not $8 million. $88,000. So something is broken in the story we've been told. And I think I finally know what it is. Here's the thing nobody says out loud. Compounding is not a financial concept. It's a behavioral one wearing a financial costume. When Warren Buffett says 99% of his wealth was made after his 50th birthday, people hear math. What they should hear is discipline. Because the math only works if the behavior holds. And the behavior, the real thing underneath the chart, has nothing to do with interest rates or index funds or dollar cost averaging. It has to do with whether you can stay the same person for 30 years while the world changes around you. Let me say that again because it's the whole video in one line. Compounding rewards people who can remain consistent through chaos. That's it. That's the entire secret. Everything else, the S&P 500, the Roth IRA, the 4% rule, is just the delivery mechanism. The shopkeeper in Queens didn't know what a ticker symbol was until 2011. But for 23 years, he woke up at 5:40 every morning, opened his shop, saved roughly the same percentage of whatever came in, and didn't panic when 2008 happened. Didn't panic when his cousin told him Bitcoin was going to $1 million. Didn't panic when his landlord raised the rent in 2019. He just kept showing up. The same man, same habits, same quiet deposits. That's the asset, not the money, the him. There's a book most people in personal finance skim but don't actually absorb, Morgan Housel's The Psychology of Money. And there's one line in it that destroyed me the first time I read it. He writes that doing well with money has little to do with how smart you are and a lot to do with how you behave. And behavior is hard to teach, even to really smart people. Read that twice. Because the software engineer I mentioned? He's smart, genuinely. He can explain backdoor Roth conversions and tax loss harvesting, and the difference between VTI and VOO. He's read the books, he listens to the podcasts, he knows, but every 6 months something happens. A friend starts a startup and he FOMOs in. A cousin buys crypto and he reallocates. A recession hits and he sells. A bull market starts and he buys back in higher. His portfolio is a graveyard of good intentions. His knowledge is elite, his behavior is average, and in the long run, behavior eats knowledge for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Now here's where it gets interesting. And this is the part that nobody on financial YouTube will tell you because it doesn't sell courses. Compounding in money is downstream of compounding in identity. Stay with me. This is the whole game. When you save $500 a month at age 25, you're not building a retirement account. You're building a person. A person who, by age 30, has made 60 consecutive small decisions that all pointed in the same direction. By 40, that's 180 decisions. By 50, 300. And somewhere in there, usually around year 7 or 8, long before the money gets interesting, something happens inside the person that's more valuable than the money itself. They become someone who doesn't have to think about it anymore. The saving isn't a decision. It's not willpower. It's not a goal. It's just who they are. That's when compounding actually begins. Not when the interest kicks in. When the identity locks in. James Clear wrote about this in Atomic Habits, and most people took the wrong lesson from it. They heard small habits, big results, and bought a water bottle. The actual lesson was that every action you take is a vote for the person you're becoming. Saving $500 isn't a financial act, it's a vote. And after enough votes, the election is over. You are that person now, and that person accumulates wealth the way a magnet accumulates iron filings, without trying. So why does this matter for you right now, watching this at whatever hour you're watching it? Because the reason you're not where you want to be financially probably isn't your salary. It isn't your lack of investing knowledge. It isn't that you started late. The reason, the real one, the one nobody said at Thanksgiving, is that you've been restarting. Every January, a new plan. Every raise, a new budget. Every setback, a full reset. You've never actually given a single system enough time to compound, because you keep rebuilding the foundation before the house gets tall enough to see. Compounding requires boredom. It requires you to do the same unexciting thing for longer than your attention span naturally allows. And in a world engineered, literally algorithmically engineered, to shorten your attention span every single day, boredom has become the rarest financial asset on earth. The shopkeeper had boredom. He had 23 years of a very boring, very repetitive life that most of us would quietly consider beneath us. And that boredom is what bought his daughter's tuition, his paid-off house in Floral Park, and the Tesla he still refuses to drive because he thinks it looks showy. Now here's the pivot, the thing I didn't see until recently. This isn't just about money. Once you understand this, you start seeing it everywhere. The couple that's been married 34 years didn't have a better love story. They had a better return policy. They didn't trade in when the market dipped. The friend who's in incredible shape at 45 didn't find a magic workout. He just didn't quit for 20 years. The writer with the huge audience didn't go viral. She posted for 2,190 days while nobody watched. Everything valuable in life compounds, and everything that compounds gets boring in the middle. That's not a bug. That's the entry fee. Most people can't pay it, so they don't. And then at 50, they look around and wonder why everyone else seems to have something they don't. It's not that those people got lucky, it's that they got boring earlier. So if you take one thing from this, take this. Stop trying to get rich. Start trying to become someone wealth happens to. There's a difference, and the difference is everything. One is a campaign. The other is a character. Compounding isn't about money, it's about this. Pick one thing, one account, one amount, one date of the month, automate it, and then, and this is the hard part, the part almost nobody does, don't touch it when your brother-in-law tells you about his NFT friend. Don't touch it when the market drops 30%. Don't touch it when you get a bonus and want to optimize. Don't touch it when someone on YouTube, including me, tells you there's a better strategy. Because there isn't. There's only the strategy that survives contact with your actual life over the next 30 years. And the only one that survives is the one that gets so boring you forget it exists. That's compounding. That's the whole thing. It was never about the money. It was about whether you could stay, whether you could be the same quiet, disciplined, slightly boring version of yourself long enough for math to notice you. Most people can't. That's why most people don't. But you're still here. 12 minutes into a video about delayed gratification. You didn't scroll. That means something. If this made something click, hit subscribe, not for me, for the version of you who's going to be very glad, in about 20 years, that you started listening to ideas like this one. I'll see you in the next one.